Welcome back, YouTube. My name is Vyxenova, Cyberspace Fox VTuber, and today we're going to learn how the government nuked North Carolina twice. Um, I remember being told a story about this, about how the U.S. managed to almost nuke itself, and I was like, I don't. How do you manage to do that? How do you manage to like almost nuke yourself? Um, but today we're gonna find that out today. We're gonna find out how the government managed to nuke North Carolina. I don't know why. I don't know what their vendetta against North Carolina. I don't know why they tried to nuke it twice, but I'm sure we're about to find out. So yeah, let's see what this is all about.
Mild stomping ground of North Carolina is known for many things. Beautiful mountains, relaxing beaches, methamphetamine abuse, and plenty of rich history dating back to before even the founding of this great nation. What you probably don't know, though, is that in the 1960s, the government accidentally nuked North Carolina. Twice. The military literally dropped 2 nukes on rural North Carolina by mistake, and somehow this isn't something that we all just know about. So in this video, I'm going to explain
Well, they
what
clearly
happened,
have something against
how
North
it
Carolina.
happened, and why the Tar Heel State isn't a giant Fallout server. So let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
It's the early 1960s, and I'm sure you're aware of what global crisis was center stage during this time period. That's right, John Lennon. But aside from that, we were in the middle of the Cold War. The United States was in a global standoff with the Soviet Union, trying to stop the spread of communism. It was espionage, proxy wars, and scariest of all, both sides were stockpiling nuclear weapons like it was going out of style. You see, after Oppenheimer did the whole "I am become death, destroyer of worlds" bit, apparently flabbergasted at the idea that his big fucking bomb that was designed to do big fucking bomb things was going to be used against the people it was specifically designed to blow up, nuclear weapons were emerging as the super weapon.
That makes sense though. It's like you know, like you build this massive nuclear bomb designed to, cause a lot of destruction, and then get like really surprised that it's causing a lot of that it's going to cause a lot of destruction. It's like, damn it. I don't quite feel like the cogs are quite, working there. Could just be I hit my mic. I'm so sorry. Well, that could just be me.
Of a new age, a nuclear age, an age of fear. And again, the Beatles. So you would think that the United States government, now possessing a stockpile of these weapons that could potentially, end all fucking life on the planet, would be treating these weapons with the utmost care, ensuring that these weapons would never be treated carelessly in a way that could cause catastrophe and endanger the lives of civilians.
Oh, you'd think so, wouldn't you?
You don't know much about the government, do you?
Today we're talking about. Well, here, okay. First things first. I'm not from America, so I don't know much about the U.S. government, even though I sound it. Man, like given that they've learned about a lot of governments, it's like you would think that, but it's very rarely true. But yeah.
At the time that America accidentally dropped a thermonuclear warhead on Greenland. Once upon a time in 1960, during the Cold War, America would receive intelligence that the Soviet Union had upwards of 300 intercontinental ballistic missiles. This meant that theoretically the Soviet Union had enough ICBMs to be able to take out every American airfield all at once, meaning that America would not be able to scramble planes to go and return the favor, which violates the entire concept of the Cold War. The Cold War only remained cold due to the concept of MAD, or mutually assured destruction. Now, there's no longer mutually assured destruction, so America is open to a nuclear strike, and they need to do something immediately. Which is when the Air Force chimed in and is like, hey, I have a terrific idea. Let's take our new bomber, the B-52 Stratofortress, aka the Buff, which clearly stands for Big Ugly Fat Fuck. We're going to throw a 1.1 megaton thermonuclear warhead in the back, and then we're just going to do hot laps around all of North America 24/7, all day, every day. And then if there is a nuclear strike, our nukes are already in the air, that plane will make a beeline to the USSR and they'll return the favor. To which the US government is like, wow, what a terrific idea. I'll take 12. They are now going to take 12 B-52s with 1.1 megaton thermonuclear warheads on board and just do hot laps around all of North America every minute of every hour of every...
That doesn't sound very safe. That doesn't sound like the safest idea. Like you're just gonna fly a plane around the entirety of North America with a bomb in the back. That's nothing could go wrong there. Nothing could go wrong.
every day between 1960 and 1968, and we're gonna call this Operation Chrome Dome. For 8 fucking years, the US government is gonna have 12 Buffy the Forehead Slayers doing death donuts around North America, carrying 1.1 megaton thermonuclear warheads, okay? And then they went ahead and decided to call it Operation Chrome Dome, because nothing says we're about to put nuclear warheads on foreheads like the phrase Chrome Dome. You might as well call it Operation Glass Your Entire Country. And I know what you're thinking, but wait a minute, the Cold War didn't end until 1991. Why on earth did this mission stop in 1968? Oh, it's because we accidentally dropped one of these nukes on Greenland. Yeah, while one of the B-52s was going around the east side of Canada, the heater malfunctioned, so one of the pilots had the brilliant idea that he was going to open up the vent to bleed heat directly from the engine manifold into the cabin to warm them up. Well, it proceeded to get so warm that it literally caught the upholstery of the chairs they were sitting on fire, lighting the entire cab on fire. All the pilots have to bail out. The plane goes down, then the conventional aspects of these nuclear bombs blows up on impact. The nuclear part didn't explode, thankfully. However, the conventional explosion was enough to spew radioactive material all over the fucking place. Because of that, a bunch of people got exposed to radioactive material, sparking a huge political controversy because Denmark, the owner of Greenland, comes out and they're like, the fuck? You're not even supposed to be here with nuclear weapons. What is happening right now? To which America kind of just replied, I mean, yeah.
I'd be the same though. I'd be the same. You know, it's like, hey, listen, what the fuck? Why are you dropping like radiation on like this country that we owe? What the fuck? But it's like, even just from the get-go, you can kind of tell it this is like a bad idea. It's like, we're just gonna like fly around the entirety of North America with like these planes with bombs in them. Like, without like, was there any kind of like safety precaution of like, what happens if your plane malfunctions? What do you do? What do you do if the plane malfunctions? God, you know, I don't blame them. I know Canada approved it. I doubt anybody outside of America probably approved that. You know, I was like, whoopsie whoopsie, we did a fucky wucky US government, probably. They're just like, oops, whoops, didn't mean that. But yeah, it's like, even from the get-go, you can kind of tell, like, I don't think this is a really good idea to just be flying that around, and like, I don't know. Like, this was like the 1960s, I don't know what kind of safety precautions they had. Okay, I kind of feel like if you're going to be doing something like this, you kind of got like some safety precautions of like, what happens if your fucking plane fails? You know? Like, do you try and like head out towards the ocean and hope that the bomb goes off in the ocean and maybe don't cause like a fucking tidal surge somewhere? You know, it's like, what do you do then? What do you do then? This is crazy. This is crazy.
But also, we're America and you're Denmark, fucking get over it. And then pretty much nothing happened from there, other than America ended Operation Chrome Dome. Thankfully, however, this was the only incident in 8 years. Well, except for that time we dropped a couple on North Carolina. And then that other time we dropped a couple on Maryland. And then that time we dropped some in California. And then there was that whole thing where we dropped some on Spain. But I think Brandon's...
How many fucking bombs did they drop on people? By accident? Like, how many times? Oh my god, this is insane. It's just like, oh, whoops, we dropped a couple of bombs on all these states. Oh, whoops, we dropped some in Spain. Oh, whoops, we dropped them. Oh my god. In the ocean near Spain and Portugal, so, oh god. Like, like, I hate to think this is, oh god. My mind is like fried right now. 60s, safety, seatbelts were mandatory in the US till 68. That will give you some, oh, of course. Of course, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I feel like the 60s weren't like the biggest for you know, safety protocols and stuff. So yeah, okay. That makes sense. Like, that's a lot of bomb nuke. That's a lot of like, oh, we accidentally dropped nukes on this place. Oh, we accidentally dropped nukes. Like, we accidentally dropped nukes several times. Oh dear. Oh dear, this is not starting off well.
I'm gonna tell you about those. So thanks for watching. Quack bang out.
Thanks, Nick. I'll take it from here. That's my buddy, the Fat Electrician. He's one of actually my personal favorite creators and a great channel for those of you guys who also love military history. As for the Spain thing, yeah, we did do that. Dropped a couple of nukes on Spain, contaminated the area with plutonium, and then lost a fourth in the ocean for a while. The 60s were not a particularly good time for some of our diplomatic relationships.
Yeah, I can imagine.
The 60s weren't good to you, were they?
But anyhow,
No, they
this
dropped
video is
bombs.
specifically about the North Carolina incident because, to me personally, I think it's one of the wilder ones. Maybe we'll talk about some of the other ones later. I don't know. It's up to you guys. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. After all, it's about what you guys want to see. Anyhow, back to story time.
I could not read that.
So the year is
I read too quickly.
1961, around midnight of January 23rd. A Boeing B-52 Stratofortress was flying over eastern North Carolina. This B-52 was based out of Seymour Johnson Air Force Base. The name of the base is legitimately Seymour Johnson.
Oh, jeez.
If you've never heard of it, you've just made the same joke in your head that everyone who is stationed there has made at some point. Anyhow, the payload that this particular B-52 was carrying was 2 Mark 39 nuclear bombs. There's some pretty serious hardware. These things weigh in at about 6,500 pounds apiece, or approximately 4 times as much as the average Austin feminist. These bombs had an explosive yield of 3.8 megatons. Doesn't sound too crazy, right? For those who don't know, 1 megaton is equal to 1 million tons of TNT. Not a million pounds, a million tons of TNT. The bomb that the United States dropped on Hiroshima that, depending on the source, killed around 100,000 people was only 15 kiloton. That means that the bombs we accidentally dropped on North Carolina were about 250 times more powerful than the one we used to fucking end World War II. And this B-52 was scary and fucking...
Why do we have these? Why do we have these? This is scary. This is scary. It's like, oh, the bomb we dropped on Hiroshima that killed, like, you know, a whole bunch of people and stuff. Yeah, this bomb is like, you know, 10 times that. Like that. Why do we have these? This is scary. What the fuck? Why do we have these? Why is this a thing? This is scary. We should not have this. We should not have this amount of power. We should not have this. I'm sorry. We shouldn't.
2 of them. Something worth nuking once. So back on the ranch, the B-52 was getting an aerial refueling. Aerial refueling, if you're not familiar, is when a mommy plane and a daddy plane love each other very much. So the daddy plane, yeah, basically it's a way of transferring fuel from one plane to the other to make sure that the plane that's being refueled doesn't have to land. It can just keep flying. But it was during this aerial refueling that the commander of the B-52 was informed that there was a fuel leak. Ground control was immediately informed of this leak, and the B-52 was instructed to abandon the aerial refueling and then go into a holding pattern off the coast of North Carolina to burn off the majority of its fuel. The only thing worse than an emergency landing of a giant aircraft is the emergency landing of a giant aircraft with 100,000 pounds of fuel on it. Suboptimal. That, and if something bad happens while it's in the air and it goes down off the coast. So you get more of like a Spain situation and less of Nagasaki Episode 2 Attack of the Clones. The only problem was when they got into position to begin this holding pattern, they realized that their problem had worsened. They had lost something along the lines of 37,000 pounds of fuel in 3 minutes. They were basically leaking 2 Ford F-150's weight in fuel every 60 seconds.
How do you manage
Americans will use literally anything but the metric system. The crew knew that this was not sustainable and the plane was going down, so they tried turning back around. The only thing that these men wanted was to get back to Seymour Johnson. I'm sorry, I'm done, I promise. It quickly became clear that this plane was not going to make it back to base. This is when they decided to abandon the plane and bail out. Out of the original crew of 8, 1 didn't survive the parachute landing, and 2 died in the crash, leaving 5 total survivors. Interestingly enough, the 3rd pilot, Lieutenant Adam Maddox, became the only person to ever successfully bail out of the top hatch of a B-52 without an ejection seat and survive. Not only did he survive, he went on to live a long, happy life. The plane itself ended up breaking up in mid.
This is crazy. What the hell? So like he was like the only person to kind of get out without an ejector seat, which is crazy. I mean, I'm glad he managed to live a long life. My man was just built different. Yeah, for sure. This is scary. I'm not gonna lie. This is scary. History is interesting, but it's also really scary, especially when people say like, "Oh, you know that 1960 bump? Yeah, we're like 3 times as worse than that." And I'm like, "Oh God, what do you mean? No, don't say that." But also just makes it worse when something just comes in and goes, "Oh yeah, you know, like these are like rookie numbers to nowadays." You'd be quite surprised how close we've come to complete global nuclear annihilation. Check out the Stanislav Petrov and what happened in '83. There was another, was Vasily Arkhipov back in 62 during the Cuban Missile Crisis. Stopped the launch of nukes basically at the last minute. Oh my god. That's so terrifying. We should not have this kind of power. We shouldn't have this. This is, oh god, no. We're supposed to, like, just like, eat food, take care of animals, protect the planet and stuff. But nah, we had to build the fucking nuclear superpower. We had to build the literal button to destroy the world if we want to.
Air about 1,000 to 2,000 feet above the ground. This left a debris field over a roughly 2 square mile area around Faro, North Carolina, which is like 20 minutes northeast of Goldsboro. The debris, of course, included, well, the 2 devices specifically designed to level entire cities. So what happened to the 2 nukes? Good news and fucking horrifying news. The good news is, miraculously, neither bomb detonated. One of them was able to parachute in a controlled manner down to the ground and was found standing upright with his parachute caught in a tree. The other, in a less controlled manner, slapped the earth at Mach fuck and buried itself. Thankfully, without detonating or even setting off the conventional explosives within the bomb itself. So neither bomb exploded and no innocent people on the ground were hurt. No big deal, right?
That's always good.
Well, that leads us to the fucking horrifying part that I had mentioned earlier. This is the part that, for me, reading into this, made this particular case so interesting. Based on the information that was recently declassified in 2013, we now know that both bombs almost detonated. And pretty much by all means should have leveled that part of eastern North Carolina. You see, as you might imagine, there are a number of safety mechanisms on a nuclear bomb. Depending on which report you read, there were either 4 or 6 safety mechanisms on these particular bombs. Why there's a discrepancy on that? Your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah, that's a bit concerning. That's a tad bit concerning.
All of the bomb safety mechanisms were tripped and ready to blow, except for one. Now that is an oh fuck moment, but don't worry, it gets worse.
Oh
the
god.
One safety that didn't fail was different on each bomb. That means there wasn't just one Chad well-built safety mechanism on this thing and a bunch of jank ones. These 2 doomsday devices didn't go off because of fucking luck. That's like 2 people.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my god. That's so creepy. What the fuck? Oh, Jesus. So they got on purely because one of the safety measures on each bomb just decided, nah, not today. So scary. What the fuck? Oh my god, that's so scary. Oh, Jesus. Oh, nope. I don't want to think about this. This is so creepy.
Playing Russian roulette with 5 out of 6 cylinders loaded, and somehow both survive. Anyhow, the first bomb that was standing upright with the parachute and all that was basically intact, so that was an easy recovery. So the recovery team was able to disarm it and send it on its way to... I actually have no idea where you send a slightly used nuke that just survived a crash landing. But the government took it somewhere safe.
God definitely intervened that day, for sure.
Again,
I feel like God's had to intervene in a few days.
Was a different story. It had broken apart in impact and was stuck in a pretty deep hole that it dug by lawn darting itself.
These guys are brave. You're jamming across like a bomb that's, had all but one safety measure, like, do its job. And you're just gonna stand like, a couple feet in front of it. That's, that's fine. You wouldn't have me going near it. Like, not on a fucking good day.
Into the earth. It was so deep that the tail was the first part that was found, and that was found 20 feet down. And in digging around trying to find the rest of it, they accidentally hit an underground water reservoir, which couldn't have made their job easier. Upon finding the majority of the second bomb, Lieutenant Jack Revell, who's the EOD officer in charge of recovery at the time, was quoted as saying, "Until my death, I will never forget hearing my sergeant say, 'Lieutenant, we found the arm safe switch.' And I said, 'Great.' He said, 'Not great. It's on arm.'"
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that's pretty sketch. I figure now is a pretty good time to give you a little context for where we're talking about here. In the year 1960, around 28,000 people lived in the city of Goldsboro alone. Had these devices gone off and leveled the town, instantly the death count would have been 10 times that of 9/11. And most locals don't even know that they were one sketchy rocker switch failure away from it. So, like most Cold War stories of a catastrophic government fuck-up, we have a bit of a government cover-up story. Because, of course.
Yeah, because they're not going to fucking admit to it, are they?
Was never fully recovered. The thermonuclear stage of the bomb was basically left intact, although they did take the pit, or the core. This is the part that contains the uranium or plutonium that makes the nuke do the nuke thing. So with the core in hand, the government just called it good. Left the rest of a nuclear weapon just chilling in the ground.
Oh my
Just
God.
a reminder, a lot of the things I'm talking about here were just declassified like 10 years ago. Letting it slip during the Cold War that the feds were losing nukes routinely and then
Oh
just
my
leaving
God.
half of them around because they got tired of digging.
Oh my-
Not a great look.
Oh
The Army
God.
did,
Oh
however,
God. Oh God. Oh God. Okay. All right. Okay. So there's basically like there's like nukes all around America that they're just being like, oh yeah, they're there, but they didn't go off, so it's fine. that's
purchase
crazy.
a 400-foot diameter easement on the property and forbid any structure from being built on top of it. Although they
Fair
did
enough.
say that the area is okay for farming. Farming.
Farming.
On top of an almost live nuclear weapon. I mean, this isn't nearly as bad as like Chernobyl levels of government cover-up, but it's alarmingly similar in tone. Now, this last bit I absolutely have to mention because I
don't
think
think I
it's
want to
fucking
farm
hilarious.
over
It's
like
the
an
perfect
armed
cherry on
nuclear
top of the
bomb.
story. This is the historical marker that
Nuclear
marks this
mishap.
incident.
That's a fucking word for it. Mishap is certainly a word. B-52 transporting 2 nuclear bombs crashed in Jan 1961. Widespread disaster averted. 3 crewmen died. It was like, oh, you know, disaster averted. By the way, there's still a bomb under the ground somewhere. Good luck. Like, good luck. Don't set it off.
This is fucking hilarious. This was almost the worst nuclear disaster in human history. And the only reason you would ever know it happened is this little plaque that makes it sound like it is absolutely not as big of a deal as it definitely
It
was.
just makes it sound like it's a whoopsie.
That's
And there's
how
like,
an entire
that's
section
not
of
a
North
whoopsie.
Carolina almost received a Darwin Award at the hands of the federal government. The same government that still has control over our nuclear arsenal and loses these things so often that they have a fucking term for it. Broken arrow.
Oh,
More
God.
like missing doomsday device, but you know, hey.
Oh, sure. Broken
Cool
arrow.
name.
Yeah, that works.
I know it's not our usual format, but I love learning about history almost as much as I love being able to share cool parts of that history with you guys. If you want to see more of this style of content, let me know. I think it's really fun. And if there's other specific things you'd like me to cover or cool history rabbit holes you'd like for me to go down, leave them down in the comments. I might just check them out. Be sure to subscribe for more, and of course for more gun videos, Darwin Awards, gun meme review, all the stuff you know we do. Anyhow, I appreciate you guys watching all the way to the end. I hope you enjoyed, and as always, I'll see you sexy YouTube mother lovers in the next video. Thanks. It's the early 1960s, and I'm sure you're aware of what global crisis. Fuck. The bomb that the United States dropped on Hiroshima during World War II that, depending on the source, killed about 100,000 people was only 15 megaton. Fuck. Fuck me. Kiloton. No fucking point.
Oh, that's... I'm kind of speechless. I'm not gonna lie. That's so scary. This whole thing, like, it's interesting. It's interesting to see, you know, what happened. But it's very, yeah, that was crazy. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That was crazy. There was an interesting fact of fucking merch. An interesting part of history, also a very scary part. Oh, I know we find bombs in the UK and the Europe all the time. I know. But it's so scary that they're just like, they're just like, oh, we have this, like, the US has this thing, this is like, the thing in charge is like the nukes, and it just casually goes like, oh yeah, we lose a few of them, you know? Oh yeah, we've lost a fair few of them, you know, they just fell, you know? We lose nuclear arms all the time, it's fine. You're finding sea mines in the English Channel. They're also found a live intact World War II bomb on the campus of Exeter University in England not too long ago. Oh, that's fun. That's gonna be a fun day at uni. Yeah, this is really hard to internalize. It's really hard to try to make sense of everything that, you know, they're so well known for losing bombs that it's been like, oh, you know, yeah, it's just like a casual Tuesday. You're like these are things that are capable of taking human lives and possibly ending the world, and you just lose them? Or like you accidentally drop one on a town and you just have to, it just, you know, out of sheer luck, it didn't go off. Yeah, exactly. The fact they have a term for losing them is insane. You should not be losing that many nuclear arms. You have to come up with a fucking term. Do your job better. Stop losing them. This is so scary. Why is the world like this? Why is the world like this? Why are we just casually just like going around with like nuclear bombs? This shouldn't be a thing. This shouldn't be a thing. I don't like it. But yeah, so I hope you like this existential crisis speedrun. I know I'm a bit freaked out about it. Nuclear bombs are a power that I don't feel like we should have. I know war is a thing, but I don't know. It's just, I don't think it's a power that the human race should have. You know, something that has enough power to ultimately destroy the entire world. I don't think we should have it. That's going to be all from me today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider liking and commenting. And if you'd like to see more in the future, please consider subscribing. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves. And I'll catch you on the next one. Goodbye.